Yom Kotzer, Malachim Aruba. We're getting close to Rosh Hashanah. So let's look at the end, the Posek Yud Aleph. It's not far away. Torah mitzvahs is not far away. There's double Lashonos. Niflois and Rechoika. Lo b'shamayim hi le'emor miyalolanu b'shamayim v'kechelonu v'shmeinu so benasenu. It's not in the heaven that you would say, who's going to go up to the heaven and will take it for us. It's not on the other side of the ocean that you would say, who will go to the other end of the ocean, get it, and will explain it to us, and we'll do it. And the Parshas say, there's two expressions. Rechoika means far, and the fleis means not stam far, but extraordinarily far. So, be'ever layam, the other side of the ocean is far, and in the heaven is extraordinarily far. Don't say it's that way, that it's very far. It's very close to you. Which is the Alter Rebbe's posuk that he brings the Tanya, Lavad, Eichu, Korum Me'oid, how the whole Tanya is to explain how Torah Mitzvahs is close by Derech Aruch Uktzar.
It's one of the 12
be on Shemayim. Too much Rabbeinu brought it down. So give Lo B'Shemayim.
So why does it say Lo B'Shemayim? We know
now
already.
It's not anymore.
We know that already. Why don't we know that? And Rashi says Lo B'Shemayim She'ilo Hoysa B'Shemayim. If it wasn't the Shemayim, he said Tzorich Lalasar Lachareu L'Lamda. You would have to go there and learn it. Why does Rashi have to say it that way? Why can't Rashi say?
Why can't it be nice?
No, it could say exactly. Why can't he say that like this? That the pasuk is saying, had it been in heaven, you would have a tztatkus and a taina. I can't do it. It's too far. That's a shemayim.
That's right.
Rashi doesn't say that. Rashi says, "She'ilu hoysa b'shamayim hoysa tzorich lalasachareu l'lamda." Truth is, the Gemara says a similar thing. First of all, the Gemara says it's slightly different. The Gemara talking about being making simonim l'Torah. The Gemara says, don't say things are too difficult. There's always a way. You remember the code to your house? Do you remember the code to the safe box? Do you remember the code for your credit card? You figured it out. Mach simonim, figure out, make it in a way that you could. But that, Rashi doesn't quote the Lashon Gemara, and he says it differently. And Rashi is anyway busy in Pshuta Shemikra. Why can't just Rashi say? So really, the key. Why can't Rashi just say that that the Torah is saying? Don't tell me that it's too far. Don't tell me it's impossible. It's possible. No, that's not what Rashi says. Rashi says, "Lo b'shamayim hi she'ilo hoysa b'shamayim hi tzorich lalasachareu l'lamda." So the emphasis, someone just said a key from part of the Rebbe's answer, which is another kasha. Why would we think that it's in the heaven? We know that Torah is lo b'shamayim. We really know that Moshe Rabbeinu brought it down. Why would we make such a mistake?
So what
that's
are they
why.
learning up over there?
Huh?
What are people who were nifter? What are they learning there? The Torah is here.
Exactly. That's where the Gemara says, "Ashri Misha Bolakam Talmud biyodei."
Yeah.
He has to have the Talmud in his hand.
He takes it with him,
But why? That's
why the Rebbe
you
says.
didn't understand. You learned it, but you didn't understand it.
You
But
wouldn't
here,
understand it,
then you'll know it.
That's why the Rebbe wanted we should learn
But
Rambam.
then you're taking the Torah up there anyway.
Right.
So it's not 100% true, the statement.
One of the Soviet cosmonauts,
Yeah.
he said that I was up in heaven and I didn't see God. So one of the American astronauts answered him and said, I didn't have to go up there to see him. I see him down here.
Very nice.
It's cute.
Very good.
A Hasidic guy.
Very good. Chsidei Umasoilam. What do you mean? Sheva mitzvahs
You
b'nei
go and you look at the Soviet country and you come to the United States, you say God is here. You know? What they going through?
Yeah.
God.
Oh God.
Back here. So,
God.
back here is a Pashta Kasha. So again, the answer is, Torah we know is not B'Shamayim. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu brought it down. But the question is, Rashi says, is it's in a faraway place. You might say it's in a faraway place that I have to go there to learn it. Where's that faraway place? So B'chlal is Akasha. What does it mean in heaven? How would we say? How does a person exactly get up in heaven? Like Aaron just said, what you go with as an astronaut? What's the pshat shamayim? B'chlal, a lot of times we have in the Torah talks about shamayim. The Rebbe asks, like a lot of times we have earlier in this parsha we also have. It says, when a Yid finds that Rahman al-San is in Golos, he should think about this, that the Eibishter told us that this is going to happen. And then v'shavta, the shemalakech, Yid does tshuva, v'shemata b'koylo, k'chol she'anecha b'tzav chayim, ata v'necha, b'chol avavcha, b'chol nafshecha, Yid does tshuva with his whole heart, his whole soul. When Yid does tshuva, v'shav shemalakech, shvuscha v'rechavecha, v'shav v'kebetzcha, b'chol avim, hashavitzcha, shemalakech shama. The Eibishter is going to bring it back from Golos. If there are Yidden that are in Golos, b'ktzei hashamayim, from there the Eibush is going to take her. Where was the last time you found that there was a few Yidden hanging out in heaven and Golos? On Mars and Venus and the moon?
Only Moshe Rabbeinu.
Huh?
In other words, you're saying it just means like an inaccessible place. It doesn't mean the sky. It means the Torah is not in such a place that it's so hard to, that it's possible somehow to do it.
Right. You're getting
just
closer.
An expression.
An expression. In other words, it can't be. What does it mean? What does it mean that the Yidden are in Golos and in Shemayim? So, one pshat that Rebbe said maybe it's Beloshen Guzma, similar to we say by the Meraglim. They said Orim Gedolos B'Tzuris B'Shemayim Derech Havoy Derech Guzma. But it's a little strange that why would the Torah use, like, the Torah is like trying to give you extra tzar that maybe you're not going to be so far linked. There is not mistaber such a pshat. And then b'chlal we say, like we said here at the end, Loi b'shamayim hi leimer. What does it mean? Ilu b'shamayim, you have to go up there. Chazal say mahalach ma'oret l'rekia mahalach tak shona. It take 500 years to walk up to Shemayim. So like, and then, Taka the Yerushalmi says, Havalon chad kemoisha nevia de yosu l'shemayim v'yesi yos lona. But Rashi doesn't bring this Yerushalmi.
Maybe it's a hint. That another 2,000 years
There'll be colonies on the moon. Exactly. And Yidden will be ungodless in the moon.
I could start selling you some property.
Like the people that are selling the stars over there.
No, someone in Israel actually selling 500 dunams in Me'arech. Did you see that ad?
No.
No, somebody did. Posted an ad on some.
But prove it is his. How do you prove it is his?
No, the guy called him up. It was a whole radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they called him up. אני מוכר 500 דונם בירח. From where you got all the paperwork. I got all the paperwork you need. You just have to sign the paper and give the money. How much money? $1 million. And he believes in it. The guy believes in it. You can hear him through the voice of the recording. He believes everything he thinks.
Yeah.
People believe the earth is flat.
People believe.
Yeah, somebody put him up to it.
Selling 500 dunam.
Only $500. באיזה חלק מהר?
Tell them what part.
החלק המואר, החלק החשוך, all this.
People are crazy.
Near a lake.
If you like, it'll be next to a lake.
A man-made lake. A man-made
No, it
lake.
has probably a big bridge next to it.
and a good view of the universe.
For sure, a good view of the moon.
Oh yeah.
So what does the Rebbe say?
So what the Rebbe says like this, and also other places. What do you mean Bereisha b'shamayim? B'shamayim. So the Rebbe has said the pshat is simple.
Yaakov also says, in the Surah Motzav also.
Oh, over there it's a cholam. So in the cholam everything can happen. But in reality, what does it mean? The Rebbe says it's a little bit of chidush, but l'choyed it's mistaber. There's two types of shemayim. When it says Bereshit bara Elokim Eisa shemayim, it means shemayim mamash. But sometimes when the Torah says shemayim, it doesn't mean shemayim mamash. For example, far the Beis Chumash Lemikra learns in the Chumash. It says oif ye'oifev al haaretz al pnei rekia hashamayim. Where did the birds fly? It's shemayim. They have to be close. How far? Big deal, you know. How high up do the birds fly? B'shamayim they fly. What kind of food is there for the birds? B'shamayim. They don't fly b'shamayim.
It's called
They come down.
It's called oif hashamayim. I understand. So we see that shamayim doesn't always mean. Well, like you say, Bereshis bara Elokim Eisa Shamayim. If the Gemara says Mahalach la'oretz l'rakia tak shona, Shemayim could mean a high place.
Yeah.
When you look up, the birds are high. You're here, and the birds are up there. That's
They
called
say in
Shemayim.
English, the sky. No, the bird is in the sky. That's
We
all.
say Latara Shemayim Tishtamoyim. Where does the rain come from? Somewhere 500 tak shona l'rakia.
It's a
It's
cloud.
right over here, the clouds. You can walk up onto mountains. Some mountains, it's a cloudy day. You can walk on top of the mountain and then you look down at the cloud, right? If you're flying, right?
Why you go through the
You go
clouds?
to the plaza and you look down on the clouds.
Zibrat Torah b'Shon Bnei Adam. That's it.
So that's Shemayim doesn't always mean Etzem HaShemayim. Shemayim can mean a high place. L'metara Shemayim Tishtamoyim means a high place. Oh, for example, we say Odom Rishon, Chazal say Sha'alna min hayoyim asher bara Elokim Odom al haaretz l'maktzei hashamayim maktzei hashamayim. So Rashi says Malamed al kamosa shel Odom Rishon shoyis min haaretz ad l'shamayim. The Odom Rishon was as tall as from the earth to the shamayim. Chazal say Mahalach haaretz l'rekia Mahalach tak shona. 500 years it take you to walk up to the rekia. The Gemara says Mahalach Odom beinei l'yoyim is eser parshios l'yoyim. So now multiply that for a year, and now multiply that for 500 times. Does it mistabed that Odom Rishon was that tall? It's like...
So where did he was actually living? Which earth it was
Who knows
in?
what these things mean?
No, it was in Gan Eden. What do you mean?
It certainly doesn't mean Mikal.
Right? Oh, so that's the point. Elamite. So what did the Chazal mean? It meant he's very tall. He was very tall to the Shemayim. Just like Oif Yoifef, or Oif HaShemayim, or Metar HaShemayim Tishtamayim. How tall are the clouds already? They're not Mahalach Tak Shona.
No, 30,000 feet you can hit the clouds.
Right. As I said, you go in a mountain. We went now with the kids just last week. We went to New Hampshire. What a thing. They love the Jews. It's Gezen Azach. One place in the world they like the Jews. They say this place was all the rich in the 1920s. All the rich Americans came here, and then there was the advent in the plane. So the rich the presidents. It stopped coming. So the Jews started coming. I said, but then the Jews stopped coming, and now the Hasidics are coming. The Hasidics.
Yeah, my nephew goes there.
Yeah. Full. Where you go into Walmart to Alts Yidden. The goyim are standing at the counter and the
Close
Yidden
to
are shopping.
Montreal. Montreal has a tremendous amount of sushi eating.
And the South I come from Williamsburg. They have
And also,
a huge.
there's
Yeah,
Montreal
they've been going there forever.
The Arlington.
One place where they like the Yidden. Unbelievable. They're happy. They're happy the Jews are giving them business. So there's a mountain, Mount Washington. Again, you come there, half the people are Yidden.
Yeah,
Who's going out with their families? Yidden.
I made it up mountain.
So you go up Mount Washington. At the bottom, it was 70 degrees. At the top, it was like 35 degrees.
Wow.
You drive up there? Or
From one side of the mountain, you could pay. You can drive up with your car, and the other side, you can go up with with a train.
Okay. Oh, they had, trolley.
Yeah. The bottom it's like a difference of like 35 degrees from the bottom to the top.
You go 5,000 feet.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So in a cloudy...
In silent desert, it's the same thing. You sleep at night, you're freezing cold. during the day, it's like 60, 70 degree different. I remember I was a soldier, he was a big shot, he didn't want to take extra gases and this, he freeze. They have to get a helicopter and to get him up to the front. They
Wow.
want to be able, I don't need it. And the guy from the Shekin, the guy that gives the stuff, said, you have to take it. It's Ablu. I said, I don't know. I'll take you. I don't want it. And in the middle of the night, I heard the ambulance and they took him. He was freezing. And he cannot wake up the guy to bring a new, suit or something. The guy's sleeping, cannot wake him up. That's, I remember this like yesterday. That's a difference.
So that's Pshat Shemayim. That's Pshat Shemayim. The same thing is that we say, Min HaShemayim dibarti imochem. It was Har Sinai, and Har Sinai we know was not the tallest mountain in the world. It's mochech mich kol turaya. So we see from all this that Shemayim, when we say that the Yidden are in Golus, it doesn't mean that there's going to be, it's not Loshen Havoi, or it's not that the Yidden are going to live somewhere in Golus on the moon or on Mars, in a spaceship. It means that the Yidden are living somewhere, just like in France, Rashi lived in France, right? So they're the Alps. That's very high. You can go up in the Alps, and it's very, very high. It's freezing up there. And you can look down on a cloudy day, and you're standing on top of the clouds, and you're looking down at the clouds. So that's the pshat. The Yidden are in Golus in the Eggveld on top of a mountain, in a desolate place. And that's what Rashi's saying. The Verstetzach Torah is loy b'shamayim. Moshe Rabbeinu brought down. But you don't say that I have to, if a Yid is in Golus, somewhere in a little village, somewhere in the Swiss Alps, a Yid is somewhere in a little village, somewhere in the Canadian Rockies. Exactly. A Yid is going to say, what am I going to do? I'm going to take a plane all the way to Eretz Yisrael, Kimetzian, Teitzei, Soweto. It's very far to learn Torah. We're not talking about the Shemayim. We're talking about a far place. A Yid is in Golus. It's behemshach to what we said in the beginning, that Yid and Neidachal B'Ktzei Shemayim. A Yid is in Golus, in a far place, in a desolate little place. A Yid is in Golus, in a desolate, quiet little place. So the Yid says, how can I learn Torah there? I could learn Torah here in this desolate, quiet little place? So the answer is that the Torah is not far away from a Yid. Like Sasson says, there'll be a shliach that'll come and knock on your door.
It.
And
Every place in the world they have shliach Chabad.
and they'll teach you Torah.
Why doesn't it say heavy Kyle and Khan Torah?
It's to be matzliach, right? To be matzliach and learn.
Yeah.
This is a person's complaining. It's not shayach. He says it's not shayach. It's not true. That's what the Torah says. Don't tell me it's not possible. Don't tell me it's not possible. There was a very choshev a traveling shliach in London. His name was Rabbi Mitzvah Glick. So he told a story that he was once invited to the south in the conference of students, the south of Spain, in the city of Malaga. Malaga is mamish low, almost at the tip of the bottom of Spain. So he comes to the conference. And he asked another bacher who spoke a little bit of Spanish to come with him to help him out. They come to the conference. They're not allowing him in. Supposedly he was going to speak. They're not letting him in. So they already flew to Spain. What are they going to do? And there's no one to talk to.
Wait, the conference was Goyim? What was it?
Students, Goyim, Yidden, Goyim.
Students. Oh, and they wanted to say from Chabad.
Right, they were invited. They were invited to talk. He was going to have some session that he was going to give. But there was some mishap. That come to the front door, he's not allowed in. So okay, if he can't go in, we'll go out. So they got themselves a little table. They opened up the table. They put on a pair of film. And they started manning the table.
Campaign.
So a young man walks over. He's from Soweto. Soweto is the highest part of Africa. from Soweto to Spain, this is like a boat ride. Is about 45 minutes. That water separates from Africa to Europe to Africa. It's very close. You could almost see from one end to the other end. So you could take a boat. It's a ferry, 40 minutes, 35 minutes max. Soweto is really a small little country on its own, and it's under sovereignty of Spain. And right after Soweto is already Morocco.
Morocco is a dangerous place to go today, or
No, not at all. Not at all.
They're not as bad as all of that.
But still, it is Muslim. It is Muslim.
It is a
And then you have this little country called Soweto, which is under Spanish rule. They don't speak Arabic there. They speak Spanish.
Okay.
It's interesting. And there's Yiddish Kehillah there.
Till today?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And Chabad is still active there.
Where isn't Chabad active?
So
There is an emperor.
this boy exactly. So this boy is from Soweto. So Bekitzev is going to Shvin Yiddishkeit. They put on film with him. One day, the next day he comes. They're talking to him a lot about Yiddishkeit. By the time he left, Rabbi Glick says, "Okay, now you're the Chabad Shliach of Soweto." Okay. The kid becomes a Chabad Shliach of Soweto, and he goes back. He's a Bislang gewarnt. He meets a Jewish girl in Soweto. They decide to get married. His brother was already married and had a few children. And it turned out, Nebuch, the children had, I forget what it was a terrible condition. And the doctors advised them, and he did some testing, they said that they shouldn't have any children. Adopt children, have no children. In Europe, Bachlal, it's the style not to have children. No one wants to bother, no one wants to have children, Bachlal.
Only Muslim.
Only the Muslims are the ones that have the children. They thought, 30, 40 years ago, they thought, Nishta schlechte Eitze, why should we have the children? We can sit on the beach. The Muslim will come and have children. Shine.
They don't know, but they
Exactly.
Every 6-7 kids, and the average European is having 1.2.
Right. Or in some countries they're having negative. So, Shine. The doctor said no children. He was becoming a Baal Tshuva, and he was getting books sent by Rabbi Glick, and he was really upset about it. So he sent pictures of his brother's children with the report that the doctors gave him, recommendation not to have children. He sent it to Rabbi Glick. Rabbi Glick sent it to the Maskidas of the Rebbe. The Rebbe answered that if he accepts upon himself that he should have Shmidas, Ataras, and Mishpoch, he should learn all the dinim and make sure he knows how to keep the vestos and have sektaida, and they should go to a mikveh, chulu v'chulu, then he has nothing to be worried about, and he should have children. This guy was a chaver. He built a mikveh.
He did it.
This guy built a mikveh. Boyd al Gabi Boyd, he built a mikveh in Soweto.
He deserved children.
And Taka, he got married, and he had 2 children, cute kids, no problem at all. No problem at all.
You
So,
want to say that there's Jews, but that's
that's exactly that. Going to Soweto is like B'ktzei Hashemayim. It's B'ktzei Hashemayim. A little country, Soweto. They couldn't even see it on the map. Somewhere in North Africa. But
Maybe you mentioned Malaga in Italy. Maybe this is the wine, Malaga wine.
Yeah.
From there.
Spain, he said
From
it.
Spain, I don't know.
It must be.
Yeah, the Malaga wine.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the one.
But I think Spain is one of those places where Taka there is no Yidden, right?
Today it's come out no Yidden.
Yeah, that was my impression.
No Yidden left.
they're in position. Nobody
No, but I'm saying in other places in Europe there is Yidden, but not there. I think now.
Yeah, but there is Yidden.
Now.
All over the world there is
Yeah,
Yidden.
now maybe
There is Yidden.
Uh-huh.
One more story. Rabbi Gokowski is the Rav of the Lubavitch Kilo in Rehovot in Eretz Yisrael. He said there was a family that became a Bali Tshuva. husband and wife, they came out shul, they got married, had 2 children. He sees in the morning you come to shul and the person is like exhausted. And one day, another day, so he calls over this balabas, says, "What's going on? It looks like you're falling apart." He said, "The kids are crying. He has 2 babies, they're crying the entire night. They went to the doctor, maybe it's a virus. They can't figure out what it is. Kids are crying a ganze Nacht." So they finally went to the hospital. They couldn't figure out what's going on with the kids. So Rabbi Glukowski said, "You want? I'll write a letter to the Rebbe." Called the mosquitoes. So they said, "Yeah, they would love it." So Beseda, he asked for a bracha, and they got a call from the Rebbe's mosquitoes, and the Rebbe said that they should be makbid in the parshios of achila v'shtia. So it's about Shuvah couple. I said, "We don't know what we're talking about. We are very." They said, "Like, come to our house. Come to our house." So Rakowski came to the house, and he looked at all the cabinets. He made sure that they understand all the hashgochas, lochit, fleshik, yeah. So he said, "Okay, you know what? Let me look." They looked in the cabinets. Let me look in the refrigerator, the freezer. As soon as he opened the freezer, the guy gave a gishrei. Oi, I remember now. There's an issue. He said he has his mother-in-law. The mother-in-law lives in Tel Aviv, totally secular woman, and she likes to bring gifts for the kids. She likes to bring candy, this. So they always tell you have to make sure that there's a good hechsher, it's kosher.
But that's
Recently, she said there was this terrific chicken, organic chicken, great chicken. And so she brought it that they should make chicken soup. So they asked her, "Where did you buy it?" So she bought it in the marketplace in Tel Aviv. Never. Treif. So the guy said, "Oh, whatever." She didn't want to make a scene. Okay, well, let's put it in the freezer. In the meantime, let's put it in the freezer.
and you forgot.
I forgot. And they realized that the chicken's not anymore in the freezer. They really used that chicken to make a chicken soup. They fed it to the kids. So Rabikowski said it means that we have to kasher all the kelim. It means that they broke the kelim that they need to break. They kasher the kelim that they need to kasher. And kids, Baruch Hashem, it was as if there was nothing happened. They were totally healed. They said, well, like what a pella. That they said the couple of Lubavitcher Rebbe is sitting in Brooklyn. How does he know what goes out in the freezer? In a freezer in an apartment somewhere in Rehovot and Eretz Yisrael. So
They have a rabbi, I think Ben Shatach, the one with the mezuzot. Ben Shatach, or
Banta.
oh, Bento. I'm sorry, Bento. One time, he checked the mezuzot years ago of Harav Yosef, and he told him you have a cross in your house. So you can imagine, they turn around the whole house. What else here? He got picture from the Spain. We talk about Spain, from the king of the I don't know who was in Spain. Beautiful picture. He went there. They checked in the back of the picture they had the cross, but they never checked it because nice picture. The picture was nice and legit, kosher picture. They hung it up. They never checked it out. And Derech Hamzuzot.
they figured it out. They say there's a story in Israel. They say that a guy meets his friend. He says, "Well, what's going on with you? I see you're so upset." He said, "My son was chozeh b'tshuva. I'm really upset about it." And, "Oh, okay, I feel bad for you." A couple of months later, he sees him again. He's so upset. "What happened? What happened?" He says, "Now my daughter was b'tshuva." He says, "I feel bad." So a few months later, he sees him. He says, "What's going on? Again, you're upset." "Now my wife." He says, "Listen, my friend, I think you should check your mezuzahs."
That's a good one.
Yesterday I was looking at the video of the Rabbi Oel, and then I was keep talking about the Indian of Eretz Yisrael giving away pieces of land that in the end of the story will come to bite us. And like word by word, as the way he says it, everyone around the table is like, this is 30 years ago. 30 years ago.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it just keeps repeating itself.
The Rebbe saw it with his eyes. The Rebbe saw that this. Yeah, it's
He said never
unbelievable.
give up.
Yeah, he was screaming me Yehudi, and everybody was laughing at him.
Right.
Now they're screaming.
And the Rebbe, the last 2 years, the Rebbe had, all the years the Rebbe kept, the Rebbe never wanted to get involved in politics.
And he said there in the video, it says, and those people that they, from the left, whatever, that they think they know what they're talking about, they don't even know politics. And Rebbe, you would think, like, you know, who other Rebbe knows about politics about the soul? Word by word, he threw this on the, everybody in the oil didn't understand anything he says. But when you see it today, you gotta, yeah, it's like red and black. I mean, it's white and black, isn't it? White and black.
Yeah, the Rebbe felt it would be a bechia l'doiris if they. That's what happened after Chav Zayin Adar, and there was a finally the Rebbe personally got involved. That Paris, Shimon Peres, almost had a government. It was a Lubavitcher chosed. The Lubavitch took so much slack over it. It was unbelievable. I remember those days. It was like 25 years ago. The Rebbe wanted. Shimon Peres almost had a coalition. He almost had a government. And there was a Lubavitcher. There was a whole story. The kids at Lubavitcher runted for Shamir, runted for Paris. It was one. He was like a swing vote. There was a Lubavitcher that was voted in. The Aguda didn't think they would get that many people. The Rebbe said then the Lubavitch should vote for Aguda. So they put a Lubavitch as the fourth man. They thought they wouldn't get that many.
I remember that. That's when Shas started.
This guy Mizrahi.
That's when Shas started.
And then they wanted to go left, but Mizrahi said, "Listen, my Rebbe said I have to go." So that broke Shimon Peres' government, and that allowed that Shamir should have his.
Yeah, Shamir was okay.
The Rebbe took so much slack for that. It was unbelievable. That little guy, yeah. And after Chav Zayin Adar, when Peres had his way and he was able to put together a government, which is 25 years ago, first thing he did was the Oslo Agreement. Right. What would Klal Yisrael give today to be able to roll back 25 years not to have the Oslo Agreement?
Whales of oil that could feed Israel and the countries surrounding them.
That was with Egypt, yeah. Back to our subject here. So the Mela, that's the pshat. When we say that a Yid is in Golus, and we say B'kitzei HaShamoyim, what does it mean B'kitzei HaShamoyim? It means a faraway place, a desolate town at the top of a mountain in the Alps, somewhere in Europe, or somewhere in Canada, or somewhere in Colorado, a desolate place on top of a mountain, which is called Kitzei. That's called Kitzei HaShamayim. And behemshet to that, the Torah says, "K'amitzvah zosh asher anechem tzav chayim lo nifleis v'lo rechoika lo b'shamayim hi leimor." We're not talking about Torah. We know already Torah is lo b'shamayim. We know Moshe Rabbeinu. We're saying it's not that if a Yid is far away b'shamayim that they say, "Oh, we have to fly over," and to in order to, because the Torah Yid can learn wherever he is. That's the bottom. Api Chassidus, what's the whole thing? Api Chassidus, a few nekudas pnimiyas haTorah. Number one is that the Pashup Pshat we're talking about Torah mitzvahs. The Ramban says that ha-mitzvah is talking about tshuva because it says singular ha-mitzvah. Why does it say ha-mitzvah? It's talking about tshuva. And the Rebbe says that the Pshat and the Pnimiyas Pshat are not so far away. When a Yid is far in a desolate place and he does Torah mitzvahs, it's only the koyach of tshuva that allows the Yid to do the mitzvahs. And the emissaries, the Alter Rebbe has in Maimer, there's an expression, tshuva maisim toivim, that all maisim toivim, in order for it to be toivim, when we eat him, that the Yid's maisim mitzvahs should shine, a Yid should do tshuva first. And that's the Pshat in Tanya. Tanya says, and we'll explain it, how to do it, but derech haruch k'tzora. So the shadla is, what does it mean, derech haruch k'tzora? The Rebbe has already other pshatim, famous. But here the Rebbe has an interesting pshat. There's derech haruch and derech tzora. The short way is the tzaddikim. Tzaddikim, lo nefleis, versteht sich lo nefleis, lo rechoike, versteht sich lo rechoike. Bala Tshuva have a very long and twisty and windy road. They go through a lot of in life, a lot of nisyonis, and a lot of things happen to them. But l'poil, they come and they do tshuva, and when they do tshuva, The tshuva about tshuva is that the feeling is b'chela yater. It's a very strong force, and it's b'chol mo'edecho. It's b'ligvul, and it's very powerful. The koyach of a Baal tshuva, and that's what the Alter was talking about. There's a derech arucha, which is the derech of the Baal tshuva, and derech tzora, which is the derech of the tzaddikim. They shall helfen that going into this year, that we should take both the derech arucha, we should derech tzora, and we should be zoichetake to have a ksivach sematova and a shona tova and tzukah. We should take all the Yidden should be nechtem l'sifren shel tzaddikim.
Amen.